fade. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.
All right, guys, the Blitz is back. Another episode of the Blitz the Bookie podcast. Charlie Winkle here with Anthony Roberts, and Josh Onan is out sick this week. He is at home pooping on himself. He couldn't make it in. It is Monday, November the 3rd. Halloween is finally over. Thank the Lord. I don't have to deal with Anthony and Josh coming in here dressed up anymore for at least another year. The real holiday season is upon us. Thanksgiving and Christmas will be here before you know it. 4 or 5 weeks left in the college football season. We're already halfway through the NFL season, the World Series that we just seen a couple of days ago, and maybe the best World Series we've ever seen. College basketball starts today. It's been on all day. I love this time of year. Anthony, how you feeling, and are you depressed that Halloween is over?
I enjoy Halloween a lot, Charlie, but I love Christmas and Thanksgiving even more, all the way up to New Year's. And once New Year's gets here, I'm ready for spring then. But enjoy the holiday season. There's a lot of ball during holiday season. That's the time when basketball and football kind of overlap, which makes it fun. But starting to get down to the nitty gritty and college football, y'all know that's my thing. That's my passion. So the pretenders and the contenders.
It's getting down to, these last 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start seeing playoff games.
We are.
Before the season even ends. Some of these teams cannot lose anymore. So in the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing games that are not technically playoff games, but they might as well be, because losing, you're out.
It is.
Losing, you're done.
It is.
Losing, no chance of making that 12. So the next 4 weeks should be really exciting. Is it 4 or 5? I want to say Kentucky's got 4 games left, but they always do that. The following week, there's only like a handful of games. Isn't that like Army, Navy?
I'm going to guess there's 5.
Yeah, I think maybe 5 regular season weeks left. But we're getting down to it. And then in the NFL, I feel like this is the time right now where you're really starting to figure out what's what. It's starting to iron itself out. I feel like I'm getting a good feel on what's going on. I told you, Anthony, I felt like I picked the shit out of some games on Sunday. Betting wise, I ended up losing a little bit of money, but it's crazy when you look at the games that I picked.
I've been there.
Dude, I picked really well. I just feel like I'm starting to figure it out. And this is that time where, like you said, pretenders and contenders. Same thing in the NFL. You're going to find out real quick here in by Thanksgiving, we'll know what's what. Yeah,
it's definitely starting to iron itself out. It should be an exciting finish. That's the good thing about the NFL is the NFL season's long, so we get a few more games out of it. You know, I never was a big NFL guy. I was when I was a kid, but I've really took back a passion for the NFL. So still not on the level college football is for me, but I do enjoy the NFL a lot more than I used to.
So before we get to all the football, Saturday was an awesome day, jam-packed with everything. College football, the Breeders' Cup for us here in Kentucky, and all you horse lovers out there. Friday and Saturday was a big weekend. But Saturday, college football, Breeders' Cup.
Overload.
And then Kentucky played that night. We get the win against Auburn. That was cool. And then we still had the Game 7 of the World Series. It was a crazy day that I felt like lasted forever. And it ended in the most awesome way ever. The World Series was unbelievable.
No, it was. And I'm not a big baseball guy. I just don't think it's a very exciting, fast-paced sport. But that was a fun series.
Definitely exciting. There's no doubt about that. We all know about the 18-inning game. That was unreal. You don't see it very often, and you definitely don't see it very often in the playoffs or the World Series. So that was crazy in itself. Ohtani doing what he does. And then Game 6 was wild. Game 7 had everything that you could possibly ask for. I mean, there was offense, there was defense. Vlad diving, making a great defensive play in foul territory. The second baseman, the play he made where he kind of stumbled, threw it home, The catcher's foot comes off for a split second and then gets back on just in time. That wins the game and the World Series for the Blue Jays.
I feel like the Blue Jays were really close to winning the World Series a couple times.
They were.
Tough pillow to swallow.
And then the drive to left center. They sub out the center fielder to bring in another guy that was on the bench because he had a stronger arm, and they were looking to tag up on a pop fly. They got the out before that, so then there was 2 outs. And then they that drive to left center, and that center fielder that they brought in for his arm goes all the way over. And
I didn't think he was going to catch it. Like, it looked a mess. It didn't look good leading out there to it. I thought,
you know what's crazy is that I definitely didn't think the second guy, the guy that didn't catch the ball, I was thinking, man, he was not going to get that. But when they showed the replays,
he was on it.
Dude, he was locked in.
He's locked in. It still would have been a tough catch.
I think he was going to Willie Mays it right over his shoulder. I'm telling you, I saw a really good angle on the replay where I ended up changing my tune on that because me and my wife were talking about it as it was happening.
Right.
And they were showing the replays. I was thinking, well, that other guy was not getting that ball. And then they showed this one replay, and I said, dude, I think he was going to catch it.
What do you think he was thinking running back there? Get your ass back here and get your head on this ball.
Get the ball.
Yeah.
Get the ball. Get the ball. Get it.
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
What a play there. And you're right. The Blue Jays were on the brink of winning the World Series multiple times throughout the series.
When the guy tied it up from like 3-1, the drive to left field there, you know, he hit that home run, but what got him that home run was Ohtani being on deck. It was 2-2, and I was telling my son, I was like, he's not going to throw him a ball here. He said, why do you say it? I said, he don't want to get to a full count with this guy. Ohtani being on deck.
Oh, they knew Ohtani was on deck.
Yeah, but that hitter knew that too. Them guys are smart enough to know that's why you want to hit in front of a big hitter because, you know, they'll kind of protect you because they don't want to put an extra guy on. So you'll get some good pitches.
So that guy only had like 52 career home runs. He only had like 7 home runs this year. And his last home run was at like the beginning of September.
He worked his way into a good pitch. He worked the count. Ohtani on deck. Probably worked his way into a very hittable pitch.
There's also a story that morning his wife told him, you're going to hit a home run today. And he said, I've been hit a home run in forever. I'm probably not going to hit a home run. And, you know, as you can see, I'm wearing the Blue Jays hat. I'm an Orioles fan, and I was cheering for the Dodgers in the World Series, but I had to pull out the Blue Jays hat. The only reason I have this hat is because my son played for the Blue Jays in Little League, so I bought the hat. But I had to pull it out just for respect for the Blue Jays. Awesome series. I love Vlad and really that whole team. They're a fun team to watch. You know, I usually would cheer against the big bad dynasty of a team like the Dodgers, but that Dodgers team is really likable. They've got a bunch of studs, and none of them are punks or anything. They're just a really likable team. I like all the guys. So I actually like the Evil Empire right now.
I hear you. I liked the Yankees when I was younger, so I get it.
And I actually think it's good for baseball.
Oh, it is.
I think it's good for baseball because
they need a salary cap, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, it is good for baseball. I agree.
People are going to be still chasing the Dodgers, and I think that's a good thing right now. Now, you know, if it happens 2-3 more years in a row, I might change my tune. But I love Ohtani, love Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, all of them. They're second baseman, dude. Let me not forget about the other second baseman, Edman, and the plays that he made in, was it game 6 or 5? He made that play. I know I sent it to you guys where the ball tipped off of Freddie Freeman's glove going down the first base line, and it tipped off of it pretty hard and got into right field. And the second baseman goes out, slides pretty much on the foul line, and throws a guy going out to third.
It was a pretty awesome play.
Unbelievable. And that dude made another good play in that game. So I just really like the Dodgers team. Congrats to the Dodgers, and props to the Blue Jays.
Dude, my heart goes out to them. I'm not going to say they played better because the Dodgers beat them, and you really can't say they played better. But, man, I kind of think they might have been the better team this series, but they got beat. So, Dodgers win it.
I feel bad for Vlad for sure. when I was younger, his dad was always one of my favorite players. I love Vlad Sr., and I'm glad to see that Vlad has worked his way into one of the best players in the league. And Blue Jays got a good young team. They'll make another run next year, I would say. Anybody but the Yankees, boys. Anybody but the Yankees.
They ain't been that good.
All right. Other than the World Series, of course, I mentioned college basketball starts today. It's been on all day. I think it's kind of been a marathon today. Started around noon, and there's a bunch of games. I think there was over 100 games on today. We're sitting here watching what is the best game of the day. Number 3, Florida. Number 13, Arizona. Arizona's been leading most of the game. It looks like Florida's cut it to 2. Did you see how much time's left, Anthony? All these cameras and cords are in my way.
6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
I will say this, with the NIL world and all these transfers, I think that it's hurt college basketball more than in college football, because at least in college football, you got a helmet on. So you see more I know that sounds silly, but you see the team uniform. I feel like with college basketball, and especially with Kentucky, because, that's the team I grew up loving, but you get to see the players. And I think by seeing them, they become more of a personality to you, a part of what you're watching, where when you're watching football, sometimes you never even see the players. So I think with the whole transfer thing, I don't feel like it's hurt college football in a sense as much. But I think in basketball, it's kind of weird seeing, I wouldn't even say hurt it. It's just kind of weird seeing the new players every year and then kind of having to relearn your team every year.
That sucks, but that sucked for the last 15 years since all the one and done stuff started going on. Because Kentucky was dealing with that early in the Cal days, and it wasn't because of transfers; it was because we were getting one and done freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been dealing with that. It sucks. Everybody loves the nostalgia of the old days when guys would stay 3 and 4. Holy shit! Did you see that?
It was the best.
He just ripped on him bad.
It was the best, dude.
I think the college basketball product is actually better. I think the product is better the last few years.
You're talking about like
the product on the floor, just that game of basketball that you're watching.
Yeah.
I like it. You got more veteran players. You're not relying on freshmen, and I'm not against the freshmen.
I agree with you. They're probably better. There's no doubt, because you got all these veteran players. But I guess I love the recruiting part of it. I love the build up to them getting there. I love, the older style basketball where there was a lot of physicality at the rim, guys challenging each other, the physicality of the sport. I definitely like that better myself. And I just felt like the energy in the stadiums was better. But I think that has nothing to do with the older players. I think it just has something to do with you getting connected to them for 3 or 4 years, which, like you said, that ended 15, 20 years ago. So.
I think the stadium attendance and stuff has a lot to do with just the world we live in now. It's too easy to sit here at your house and watch it and have a better view than go to a game and pay however much you got to pay for, to get there, to park, for your tickets, for your food and all that. And I think that weighs into a lot of people's decision to go to these games.
Yep. Yep. I feel like when you used to watch college basketball, the same reason I like college football is the nostalgic. But you watch some of these teams in college basketball and the roof seemed like it'd already come off the place you'd be watching. I'm not saying that they don't get that a little bit now, but I feel like
you'll get it in conference play. Once conference play rolls around, their arenas will be rocking.
Yeah.
So college basketball is back. Of course, we're in Kentucky, so we always look forward to college basketball. But I'll be honest, it's still football season until football season's over. It just is. I will watch Kentucky, and I'll watch some of these bigger games in college basketball up until Christmas, but I won't dive head deep until definitely after the New Year's and really after the Super Bowl. But I'll still be locked in every Kentucky game and most of the big games. And there's some guys I want to see. The BYU, I'm going to tune in tonight to see BYU.
Sure.
I didn't get to see him play any of their exhibition games. I want to see what the 7 million, 10 million, 12 million, however much they paid him. I want to see what he's all about. I want to see if he's legit. So I'm going to tune in tonight, and I bet him.
Yeah, there you go. I wish more people was like you, Charlie, more Kentucky fans. If you listen, my gripe. I feel like we're a basketball school, and
we are a basketball school, but it's football, dude. It's football. It's football. I like it. Football's over.
I like it.
It just is. All right, so let's get to the football.
Let's do it.
Still football season. Let's get to it. Main takeaway, Anthony. What is your main takeaway from college football? I know we were locked in on a lot of things on Saturday, mainly the Breeders' Cup. We went live for anybody that listened or checked us out. Thank you on TikTok. That was a fun time, but it was just so much shit going on.
It was.
I could not concentrate. I made some bad bets on the horses.
Oh, yeah. I'm
just
just throwing darts at a board. Throwing darts at a board.
I just wasn't.
Locked
we were
in.
talking. We were having fun. We were doing the live. We were interacting.
It
with
was
the
a lot of
people,
fun.
talking to people. I couldn't make any.
It was fun.
You're right. I was throwing darts. You notice I try to walk outside every couple minutes, just to 60 seconds.
I get it.
Just to look at who do I like in this next race. But
I've always
that's
said
about all I
that,
got.
like on big days, Derby Day, Breeders' Cup Day, say if I'm going to go with some friends or family, I want to have a good time. I don't want to be in the book all day. I want to do all my studying the week before because I want to have my bets ready because I've caught myself going to the track and having my head in the program, and I can tell I'm not a good time because I really enjoy horse racing. I'm a horse racing junkie, but 99% of people aren't, and they're there for a good time. And I'm ruining the good time because I'm so locked into a book.
I've been there.
Yeah, I think we all have.
So yeah, we were locked in on we weren't locked in really on anything. It's just too much stuff going on. But college football was going on. What was your main takeaway, Anthony?
My main takeaway, I've said it a couple weeks ago, and I reaffirm. I think it's wide open. I'm not saying anybody, but I think it's wide open. I know a lot of people are thinking Ohio State. I'll still say I like Ohio State. If you gave me one team for $1 million, I'm taking Ohio State. There's no doubt. I think they're the best, but I think they're beatable. They've only played a couple teams with even an offense, not even good. Illinois is about the best offense they played. They got 300 yards against them, and Texas got about 300 yards against them. So I do think they're really good. They got talent everywhere. But, man, that's got to catch up to them not playing nobody when they go into a tournament where they're going to have to win 3 good games. So I do think it's wide open.
Wide open? How wide open?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but I'm
going
to guess they make 10.
Let me name. You say yes or no, they can win it all. Ohio State.
They can win it all.
Just yes or no?
Yes.
Indiana.
Yes.
Texas A&M.
Yes.
Alabama.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
Oregon.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
Yes.
BYU.
Nope.
Texas Tech.
Nope.
Notre Dame.
Don't know.
Oklahoma.
Nope.
Virginia.
Nope.
Texas. I know I had to go all the way to that one.
No, I got you. Yes. Yes, I do.
Louisville, Vandy, Georgia Tech, Utah.
Nope.
Miami, Missouri.
Nope.
USC, Michigan.
Nope.
I know we're not getting past that. Tennessee, I know has got to be a no for you. Memphis, Washington, Cincinnati. All right, so let's go back. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon. You said yes to Ole Miss, no to BYU, no to Texas Tech, no on Texas Tech.
I don't think they can win it.
I hear you.
I don't think they can win. I think they're good.
Notre Dame, you said I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's still pretty wide open. It looks like you're still pushing about
if somehow Tennessee could get in it, I think they have a wild card. I'd probably put them where I put Notre Dame. I don't know, but they're not going to get in it with 3 losses. They might, though. They might. They have a tough schedule, but yeah, I don't think they'll get in.
My list is down to Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M. I'm still going to leave Alabama in there. I'm leaving Georgia in for now, even though I like Georgia, but they're kind of right there with Alabama. I want to believe in them. I'm just not sure. And then Oregon, I'm going to say Oregon can still win it all. Ole Miss is kind of right there with Alabama and Georgia. I want to say they can, but I'm just not sure about it. I want to say Texas Tech can, but they're kind of in that same boat. Is Notre Dame getting in? I mean, they've got 2 losses. Are they running the table?
They shouldn't. But
do they play anybody else?
See, this is my problem I have with college football. Not all schedules are created equal. And so Notre Dame will get in with 2 losses, but Tennessee won't with 3.
Who's Notre Dame play the rest? Do they have any good games?
Nobody left. USC. No, they already played USC. So they don't got nobody.
I guess Notre Dame. If Notre Dame gets in, I'd say yes.
There's just going to be some really good 3-loss SEC teams that deserve to be in. They're not.
I think I'm down to about 5 or 6.
I got you. I'll tell you this. I don't care who wins the Heisman. It'd probably be Indiana because they don't play nobody, and they'll keep running up the score on everybody. And I'm not saying they're not good, but that schedule's ridiculous. So is Ohio State's too.
Both of them are.
I'm going to tell you who the best player in the country is. I do. He's not going to win the Heisman, but I do think he's the best player in the country. I think it's Trinidad Chambliss. I do. I've watched the kid now. He's good. He is so mature. Now, he's a senior, but I think they're going to try to get another year for him. But Charlie, he just is so in control of the game, so calm, throws the ball away. He seems like he's a 30-year-old man playing college football. He won a Division II championship or whatever it was at Ferris State. The kid is wise beyond his years, gets the ball out super quick. When he wants to use his legs, he can. I'll be honest with you. If they play Georgia tomorrow, that's the loss they had. I would bet Ole Miss. I thought Ole Miss outplayed Georgia that game. I like Trinidad Chambliss a lot. I think he's the best player in college football, but I think Mendoza's going to have to lose for somebody to beat him, or Alabama's going to have to make a run, a Ty Simpson type deal.
Indiana's not losing.
Oh, I agree.
Not until possibly the Big Ten championship.
That schedule's horrible, Dave.
Them and Ohio State both.
I just feel like in other conferences, if you are good, you're going to the playoff. In the SEC, far from it. I think there's a lot of good teams that will be out of the playoffs. But in other conferences, if you're good, you're going to make the playoffs.
All right, well, my main takeaway, and yes, I'm probably going to piss some people off, the ACC is garbage.
Old news.
Garbage. That's why I had to use it as my main takeaway and not my hot take, because it ain't a hot take. But the ACC is weak. Georgia Tech was the best team. They got beat. Miami got beat again. And now the top of the ACC looks like this. Virginia, Georgia Tech is still up there, Pittsburgh, and Louisville.
A bunch of, look, they're not bad teams, but they're a bunch of mid-level teams is what they are. That's mid-level teams. That's what they are. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying Louisville ain't solid. They're solid. Georgia Tech solid. Pittsburgh solid. But they're solid. They're not the top of the conference. They're solid
That's the
teams.
Cream of the crop, son.
Yes.
That's the cream of the crop in the ACC. That's it. That's all I got, Anthony. They're trash. I mean,
but
Virginia's what? Virginia's 8-1. Are they good?
No.
They're not, are they?
Matter of fact, that's probably they're leading the conference. They're the most overrated team. There's 3 or 4 teams in that conference better than them, and that ain't saying much. But
Virginia lost their second game to NC State, who I don't think is any good. I haven't heard anything about them all year. They beat Stanford. They beat Florida State.
They got lucky against Florida State, but they won.
And they beat Louisville.
They got lucky against Louisville, and I hate to say that. They got lucky.
Beat Washington State by 2, beat North Carolina, who we know is bad, by 1, and beat Cal.
They're not.
So, I mean, they did beat Louisville and Florida State, but Florida State's not good.
I think Louisville gained them by 170 yards. It's just they've had some breaks. Man.
And they finished with Wake Forest at Duke, which they will probably lose that game because Duke is good and their quarterback's good. You seen Duke's quarterback?
Yeah, he came from Tulane.
He's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and say Duke beats Virginia next week.
I think that's a pretty good matchup. But, yeah, I'm with you. I bet you Duke. Who's home in that game?
Duke.
Duke could probably be 4-5-point favorite.
I got Duke winning that game.
I got
so Virginia is the top of the top in the ACC.
What's SMU's record?
SMU overall 6-3, 4-1 in the conference.
I would say with them getting healthy and Miami, the blueprints out there how to beat them. If you had me pick one team, I'd take SMU. I think SMU had some injuries early in the year. They're starting to get healthy. I would probably take SMU.
Watch out for Duke.
Just because they gave the game to Duke, if anybody's seen the Clemson-Duke pass interference call, son, probably one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. Came out about 3 seconds after the play was over. What did the official think? Oh, my God, I got to call this. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. Dabo got a $10,000 fine for it, for going off on him in the press conference. Dabo said, I don't know what they're even seeing. He said he's right there in front of it. That's the worst call he ever seen. Dabo usually don't go in on the officials like that, but he did get fined for it, $10,000. But I guess he got his money's worth. It was bad. It ended the game. It's that time of the year for college football.
It was a bad call. So the top 2, I think the top 3 teams preseason in the ACC: Miami, Clemson, Florida State. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, preseason, that was their top 3.
Was Florida State preseason? I don't know what they were.
Florida State is 4-4 and 1-4 in conference. Clemson is 3-5 and 2-4 in conference. and Miami is 6-2 and 2-2 in conference.
I still think Florida State's decent.
Let's be real right here, right now, Anthony, so everybody doesn't dog me and they dog you a little bit too. Should an ACC team make the 12-team playoff?
Probably not.
They shouldn't, dude. There is nobody good enough to make that.
Not unless just one of them make an awesome run at the end of the season. But yeah, but they're going to be playing each other. I'm with you, dude. That's my biggest gripe with this playoff system. But just put the best 12 teams in there, dude. Just put the best 12 teams in there.
Doesn't matter what conference they're in. Just put the best teams in.
Dude, you got teams.
There would always be an argument of who's best, but we've got to come up with something because
it just ain't right, dude. I mean, the SEC is just ultra loaded with the NIL deal. All the teams have money and they're all spending it. You got coaches getting fired that have pretty good teams, but they're getting beat in the SEC, so they're getting fired. You see it all over the SEC.
Get beat by Kentucky and you'll probably get fired.
Yeah, they don't like it.
All right, let's get on to these games. We only got 4 of them this week. Our game of the week this week is back to college. So let's start at 3:30 on Saturday. Number 3 team in the country, Texas A&M, traveling to Missouri.
Let me ask you one quick question while we're here on the A&M. Don't go by no other year. Tell me, if you're just going by resume, how Texas A&M isn't the number 1 team in the country over Ohio State, over Indiana. You know, at least they got Oregon, but that's all they got. It literally drops off so bad after that. A&M has went against a complete schedule.
They have beat Notre Dame.
Auburn.
They beat Auburn, who is not very good. But
you say that, but Auburn's played everybody tough just because we beat them.
But they were a train wreck and they fell apart. So you could have a good team and a good roster and still be a shit show. That's what Auburn is.
They probably got the best defense in the country, if not one of them.
Mississippi State, they were good, but they're kind of fell off.
They beat Arizona State. If they were in another conference, they'd be top 25.
We can't just say every team in the SEC.
No, but I know what the point spread would be.
You're basically saying there's no bad teams and every single team in the SEC is good. I don't believe that.
I do.
I don't.
I do. I think they would be favored.
I think Mississippi State is okay.
Okay.
I think Auburn, if y'all have listened, we raved about Auburn for 6 straight weeks while they were taking losses. I don't think they're very good. Florida might be like Auburn. They might have a good roster, but they're a disaster.
They're a disaster because they're getting beat.
Because they've had bad coaching. Because
but if they win those games,
internally has just been a mess.
But if they win those games, it's not bad coaching then.
But they didn't win those.
I know
games.
what I'm saying. Though, somebody's got to lose the games.
I know. But then you lose 1 or 2 here, but Florida, Mississippi State, and Auburn have racked up losses.
I know
now.
these teams that we're talking about, Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida. I know that if they played other teams from other conferences that people think are good on neutral fields, they'd be favorites over them. The SEC teams would be them teams I'm talking about.
I'm not saying they wouldn't.
So that means they're good.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that. You know, you could say Auburn's roster is good and they should be good, but they're not.
Okay.
Arkansas, you're going to sit here and say Arkansas is good. They're 2-7 or something. Yeah, but they're not good. They're 2-5.
Who's that?
Arkansas.
Okay, let's go through Auburn real quick. They lost.
Lost.
Let's go through it. They lost a 1 score to Oklahoma. Almost everybody in the country, even the SEC, admitted they had that game taken from them. They beat Baylor by almost 20 points.
First game of the year.
It don't matter. They
scratch that off.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I say the same thing about Ohio State and Texas.
Okay.
Like first game of the year. I mean, it counts, but I don't take a lot from it.
They had Oklahoma beat, got screwed out of that game. They turn around. They play Texas A&M, one of the best teams in the country, at Texas A&M, lose by 6. Play Georgia. Everybody knows what happened in the Georgia-Auburn game. Then they turn around and play Missouri. That's when they had their starting quarterback. They lost in 2 overtimes. Then they play Arkansas. They beat Arkansas by 9. And then they play us. Everybody thinks they're bad now because they played us and they got beat.
I've seen them. I've watched them all year. Well, I get it.
They're a good ball club.
Yeah. I mean, again, we can argue about it all day. And this is why
their record ain't no good.
This is why when we say just take the 12 best teams, it's subjective, dude. You like who's to say? You're sitting here saying you think Auburn's good. I'm saying I don't think they're that good. So who's right? And who is to say who the 12 best teams are? It's always going to be an argument.
I guess what I'm saying is I just think just because you got a bad record the record don't tell all the story. There's more.
I agree with that, but at some point it's got to. Arkansas is 2-5, dude.
I got that. I think Arkansas is probably the worst team in the SEC, but I think they would beat a lot of teams in a lot of other conferences.
I'm not saying that. That just says those teams suck too.
Yeah, but
because I do think you're right. I think you put like a Auburn up against whoever in another conference, I think they would probably win the game and definitely be favored. But
I think it goes.
That says more about the other conferences being shitty too. We just said the ACC is garbage. Yeah, Auburn probably beat half them teams.
I think it comes down to everybody's good in the conference, but somebody's got to lose the game. So there's good teams at the very bottom that are losing games. There's teams in these other conferences that are ranked in the top 25 that aren't good or that aren't as good as some of those teams. That's part of what I think the problem is that you have one conference where you don't have an off week, and you got other conferences where you got to get up for 1 or 2 games a year. It's just too lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you 100% on that, 100%. But just because we think the SEC is solid from top to bottom, which it is, doesn't mean once we get halfway or 3/4 of the way through the season and teams got 6 and 7, however many losses, dude, at some point you got to win some games.
You know, Arkansas, they played Memphis out of conference. That's one of everybody's big teams this year, Memphis. Been all over the top 25 all year. Arkansas lost to them by 1. And a game they gave away at the very end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, who'd Florida State beat? Alabama?
Alabama, yeah.
I mean, Florida State beat Alabama by like 2 touchdowns or
they
something.
did. I think it was a good win.
But what is that?
But Florida State's a good team. They're not a great team, but they're a good team.
They're maybe okay.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're not
I'm
great.
just saying, a team can beat another team. I've got Louisville fans, ACC fans pointing that out to me. Oh, Alabama got beat by Florida State.
That's about the only thing they got to lay their head.
It's just one game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just stuff like that can happen.
I agree.
So back to Texas A&M, Missouri. I'm still not a believer in Missouri. I don't know how much you believe in Missouri.
They're good, in my opinion.
Missouri, I mean, Kansas, a beat-up South Carolina team, lost to Alabama in a close game, beat Auburn, lost to Vandy, which I think was a bad loss. I don't know how good Missouri is. At least they're at home in this game. At least they got that.
They got
because Texas A&M is good.
They are. Texas A&M's got a really good offensive line, but Missouri's got one of the better defensive lines in the country, so that's a good matchup.
Texas A&M will run like a motherfucker on them, dude. That's what they do.
Hey, I like A&M's running game. I love A&M's running game, but that will be a big challenge, dude, because Missouri, they stopped the run. But I think A&M's got more offense, especially with their quarterback being hurt. I think they got more offense than Missouri. I do think losing their quarterback hurts them, and I like Missouri, but I think A&M's one of the best teams in the country. They might be the best team in the country. I don't know.
A&M needs this game. They're undefeated. They've got this game on the road at Missouri, and then they've got a home game against South Carolina, a home game against like Wofford or something, and then they finish off the season at Texas. They got to get this one because they could lose that last game at Texas. But they're not going to want 2 losses after a 7-0, 8-0 start. I think this is kind of a must-win. It's not a must-win for Texas A&M, but with the way Texas is playing, that Texas game could be scary at the end of the year for Texas A&M. So I think they're going to take this game about as serious as it can be. I feel like there's some games where we can say, oh, the team could maybe take a loss. I don't think this is one of those games. I think Texas A&M needs this one, and I'm really not a believer in Missouri yet. I will be if they beat Texas A&M, though.
I think you got to put them in because the resume would be too solid. If they lost to Missouri and they lost to Texas, 2 loss, which they wouldn't go probably to the SEC title game at that point.
They probably wouldn't.
But if you put
recency bias, though, dude,
that'd be 2 loss. Them against 2 loss Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame in South Bend. I don't think they could.
You know how it kind of goes, man.
I think the head-to-head would break that.
Don't you think that if you lose game, you're better to lose a game early?
No doubt,
in the year?
no doubt. No, I do agree, but I think with the head-to-head and with A&M's schedule being tougher,
yeah,
and
but
then plus
it might not come down to Notre Dame. It might come down to somebody else.
I'm just saying if it did,
yeah.
yeah. I don't think you can overcome the head-to-head, and especially because A&M has a tougher schedule.
Texas A&M wants to go undefeated and be in the SEC championship,
They're
that's right.
they're good.
They're sitting
they're
right in
solid.
line to do that.
Their weakest thing is their quarterback, but everything else is so good.
He's good though, dude.
Yeah,
he's good. He's a good college quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's any type of pocket passer or NFL prospect.
Oh, he can run a little bit.
He's a good college quarterback.
They probably have one of the better offensive lines of football. They get after on the defense. They can beat you a lot of different ways. There's times where I think A&M. This sounds crazy, but I think A&M is just messing around to see like how they want to win this game, working on things for the playoff. There's times when I think, dude, they could just run this ball and dominate this game right now, but
You're talking about the team that we're about to talk about in the next game.
Who's that?
The Oregon Ducks.
Yep.
The Oregon Ducks at the Iowa Hawkeyes. Oregon and Dan Lanning do exactly what you just said.
Yeah, because they got an easy schedule. But yeah, you're right.
They always do that shit. They hold back, and then they'll blow somebody out by 70, and then the next week they'll hold back. Ohio State does the same shit. Ryan Day and Dan Lanning are the kings of that shit.
Yep.
So Oregon at Iowa. I know you were talking about Iowa being hot.
Super hot, man. All right, so look, you got a computer in front of you. Pull Iowa up real quick. I'll just show you. I don't want to just take my word for it, but I bet them so I've known. That Minnesota team had just beat, I think, Nebraska. They beat them 41-3. They beat Penn State by 1, but then they beat Wisconsin 37-0, whatever. That's Wisconsin, but still blanked them. But they got beat by Indiana by 5. They flat out outplayed Indiana in that game. If you go in, dig into it, Indiana shouldn't have won that game, but they did. But I'm just saying, we think Indiana is one of the best teams in the country. At least I do. So what is Iowa? I don't know. I know their defense must be good to hold Indiana to 15, but there's a piece of me that thinks that Oregon didn't play their very best game against Indiana. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions going in my head there. But going against Oregon, I think it's a game Oregon needs. Dan Lanning, I think looking back at Indiana game, I think he's mad at it. Be mad at himself. Maybe didn't have his team prepared for a couple things. And nothing against Cignetti. I think he's great. But I think that was a Super Bowl for Cignetti, man. He wanted that game bad after shitting the bed against Ohio State regular season last year and then the playoff. I mean, you could see Cignetti. He wanted that game so bad. And I just never got the same feeling from Dan Lanning. I almost feel like Dan Lanning came in it too relaxed. But in saying that, I think Indiana's still one of the top teams. Heck yeah. Iowa's a wild card for me right now.
Haven't seen Iowa play, so I could not even tell you. But as I'm looking at Oregon's schedule, man, just another weak Big Ten schedule.
And they're good, but like just they get to rest players. They don't have to show their plays.
They have not played anybody.
I'm with you.
They beat
nobody.
They beat Oklahoma State, who's probably the worst team in the country. They beat Northwestern.
That Northwestern win actually is starting to become pretty good, and they should have blanked them 34-0. Northwestern's becoming a decent team.
Oregon State. They beat a bad Penn State team by 6.
Mm-hmm. That was with Drew Aller.
Lost to Indiana. They beat a Rutgers team who Rutgers ain't no good. They beat a Wisconsin team who's about to fire their coach. They're not no good. Oregon hasn't played nobody.
Now, I'm not taking up for them in that Wisconsin game, but I will say this. The weather was crazy in that game, they said. I did read that. So if you see the score,
they won the game.
I know,
Wisconsin is
but
garbage.
they should have won it by more than that. But the weather, the wind, storms, and everything in that game.
I wouldn't have cared if they won that game by 60. How bad
I agree.
Wisconsin is. I'm just looking at where's their quality wins, and I really don't see any.
Northwestern could end up being one, but that's it. I would say Penn State's a quality win with Drew Aller. That ain't the win that we thought it was going to be, but I'd say with Drew Aller, it was a quality win.
And now they're at Iowa, then against Minnesota, and then they got USC and at Washington.
They need those games, though, because say they took 2 losses. Just say they stop it tomorrow after the Iowa game. Say they lose to Iowa, and they would have to, and that's when you do the playoff. Would they have got in? They would have had to got in off their name.
What are you talking about now?
If Oregon was to lose to Iowa this week and there was no more season,
they're out
with the 2 losses. Okay, would they get in on their name? That's what I'm getting at. Would they get in on their name?
Out
because you know what? I think you're right.
They got no wins.
I'm with you.
They ain't got no wins. They need this win because they're playing Minnesota, who's not no good. They're playing USC, who's okay, and Washington, who's okay. They mess around. They could lose one of them last 2 games. They better beat Iowa. They've already got a loss.
I think Oregon could lose to Iowa if they won the rest. I think they'd get in. But I'm with you.
Pressure would be on big time
would.
if they lose this game, though.
And because
big time.
I think USC. I think they're a cheating team. I think USC is better sometimes than what they look. Washington, not so much.
Washington's all right.
They're all right. I think they're a team that kind of benefits from the Big Ten. I think they're better than a lot of the teams in the Big Ten. They're good. I'll say that. They're good.
I mean, they're okay.
They're good.
They're great.
They're average good. That's what I think
they could sneak around and give Oregon a game. That
especially
last game
at Washington.
of the year.
Especially at Washington. I agree.
This is a must win for Iowa.
Yeah.
And it's at home. And Oregon hasn't played anybody. And Anthony says Iowa's hot.
That'd be a tough environment. That'd be a tough environment, dude.
I'm going to have to look into this one because I will tell you the strength of schedule for Oregon worries me. But, man, Dan Lanning, I like that guy. Probably come out and score. Did they play last week? Are they coming off a bye? Yeah, they are coming off a bye. No.
I think they're like number 20.
Iowa's coming off of a bye.
I think they're like number 26 or 27, Iowa is. But to me, when they've outplayed Indiana and they lost to them by 5, and Indiana's this godsend team, and I do think they're really good. Like, I think you should get credit for that. And I know a lot of people don't, but I just do. I think it matters. And
both teams coming off of a bye.
Mm-hmm. Should be
Iowa and Oregon both coming off of extra week's rest. So
it'd be a statement if Oregon could beat them, though, because I think everybody has respect for Iowa.
It'd be a statement if Iowa beats.
I agree with that.
Oregon.
No doubt.
That'd be the statement.
Puts Iowa right into the playoff race, I think. I think it got to.
Oh, it would definitely open people's eyes.
With them only losing to Indiana by 5 and outplaying them and then beating Oregon.
Because they've already got 2 losses. Nobody's thinking about Iowa right now. But if they beat Oregon, they will be.
I bet you they're about 26 now. I bet you it jumps them top 18.
All right, next game, LSU at Alabama. Alabama favored by 10. LSU is a train wreck right now. Their governor's trying to be the head coach of the team. The Secretary of State is the offensive coordinator. Who's the defensive coordinator? The mayor?
Yeah. Their defensive coordinator actually has been a bright spot this year.
I don't know what's going on down there. It's a disaster down there.
It is. If you ever get mad at your fan base, like and think your fan base is just too over the top, too crazy, just go read the LSU stuff, what went on down there. I don't know how they're going to attract any coach. I don't know any coach that would want to go down there in that mess. I guess they got a lot of talent and a lot of money also.
Yeah, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, joking around about the governor and stuff, the governor fired the AD and he's saying he wants to hire the next head coach or something. I don't even know what's going on.
Told him the AD wasn't going to do it. Why even have one, bud?
He said he was going to be the AD and the coach, and he's bringing in his cabinet members to be the offensive defensive coordinator. I don't have any faith in nothing that's going on down there. The only thing I like is Garrett Nussmeier, and he is probably just saying, get this season, kind of like I said last week, get this shit over with and let me get the hell to the NFL, because he was supposed to be a stud this year, and everything's turned to shit. They don't have a run game again. Their defense hasn't been great.
There's a lot of people that says, I listened to a thing about 4 months ago that he had a really big injury over the summer, and some people believe he never got back from it. But they just don't have a run game.
They don't have a run game.
They don't have a run game.
You can't put it all on the man's shoulders.
No doubt. And I'm going to tell you, when they brought Barryon Brown from Kentucky as a wide receiver and they were bragging about it, I knew they were in trouble. Barryon's a hell of a return man. He's not a good receiver. He's just not. He's not a wide receiver. He's a return man. That's what he is. Very explosive, but he's a return man. But they spent a lot of money, and, they're upset. They want a winner. They see Alabama winning. They threw a lot of money at it and didn't get it.
They fired Orgeron less than a year after he won the national championship.
Maybe the greatest team of all time.
He might have been the coach that Brian Kelly was not a fit. I know, some people don't even believe in this is a good fit or not. Do you believe in that? That some things can just be a fit or not a fit?
Winning solves all problems.
I do think that in some certain places,
if you're a fit, it'll get you through the tough times.
I agree with that.
It'll get you through the tough, the fans that kiss your ass. If you are not a good fit, that you don't have a chance.
See, I think there's some place. I do agree with that. I think there's some places though, like Deep South, maybe like a USC, maybe somewhere like on the East, like up Northeast, where you almost kind of got to fit in a little bit.
I agree. But,
Ed, kind of like Danny Hurley at UConn. It's just like a perfect fit. I know he's winning. But I'm just saying, like, he's that type of guy.
I agree with that.
Rick Pitino at St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
Just a perfect fit.
But the only thing I'll say about that is that when Ed Orgeron was at USC, he was head recruiter for Pete Carroll there and best recruiter in the country. I'll tell a quick story I heard the other day. Joe Burrow was transferred from Ohio State. Ed Orgeron had been head recruiter at USC. They say he's best recruiter in the game. Big personality, just Louisiana man through the core. And Joe Burrow's dad is a coach, high school coach. Very savvy, very smart. Ed said he was in the room with him. All these other players was in there. He says within 5 minutes, he knew Joe was the smartest man in the room. He said he went up to talk to Joe. He knew he was transferred from Ohio State. He talked to his son. He said he's really good. And he said, hey, Joe, let me talk to you. And Joe said, no, you ain't going to talk to me. He says, tell me what you got to offer, coach, and I'll get back with you. He said, you won't talk to me, Joe? He said, no, I know you're the best recruiter in the game. He says, I'm not letting you have my ear. You're too good of a recruiter. You're too good of a talker. You tell me what you have to offer. He said he went on. He was waiting for him to call. He said, I couldn't wait no longer. I called Joe's brother. And talked to him, sent him some crawfish, and told him we had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson down here. And the rest was history. I thought that was cool that Joe Burrow thought he was such a good recruiter. He didn't trust himself around him.
Well, that's why he didn't fit out there, because he fits down in Louisiana.
That's right.
He ain't no California guy.
He recruited some big talent out there.
I'm not saying recruiting. I'm saying he ain't no California guy.
Well, that's
Ed Orgeron was the perfect fit for LSU.
Yeah,
they should have kept his ass.
I don't know.
He won a national championship. They got rid of him less than a year later.
Yeah, he can recruit.
They should have kept him. Instead, they hired Brian Kelly. Dude goes down there and tries to throw on a fake accent like he's lived in Louisiana his whole life. Everybody knew it was a bad fit from the damn opening press conference, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Ed Orgeron, I got your back, big dog. You should still be the coach at LSU right now.
I love him.
Matter of fact, bring him back.
Oh, no. He do it. His game's recruiting. That's his game.
Bring him back. Coach O back to LSU. He should be the governor.
I like that. I love him. Yeah, a lot of people, they say Joe Brady won that for him, the guy with the Bills right now.
Hey, that could be a sleeper for that job.
That could
now
be.
That you said that.
Could be.
That could be a sleeper.
You think
for
he'd
that
want to
job.
go back to college?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Wonder where he's from. He's probably not at LSU.
Dude, if I was him, I would stay offense coordinator if I took that crazy.
He's going to take a head coach job somewhere.
But you know what? Oh, I'll say this: the guy. Look, in today's world, you got to be good at evaluating talent. If you got money, and they do got money, I think he would be a great evaluator of talent. He just seems like a very smart guy. Great play caller. I think he's the perfect guy for the job. I'll be honest with you. I hadn't thought about it. I think he's the perfect guy for that job.
Yeah, I don't think he'd take it, but who knows? Well, we didn't even talk about Alabama. You got anything to say about Alabama? All we talk about is LSU.
I think Ty Simpson, I honestly believe Ty Simpson's, I said Trinidad Chambliss was the best player in the country. Maybe I'll go back on that a little bit. I think Ty Simpson's right there with him. I know Mendoza might win Heisman. I know Moore's good. But I'm going to tell you what, I've watched Ty Simpson make some throws. I'm not sure. I know they saying's good, but I'm telling you, I've seen Ty Simpson make some throws I haven't seen nobody else make, and he actually got some wheels too. I like Ty Simpson a lot.
He's the best pro prospect. He should be the number one quarterback drafted. I think I said that 2 or 3 weeks ago. You want to talk about a drop back, pocket passer, NFL prospect? That's Ty Simpson.
And he can move.
I ain't got much to say about this. I thought it was fun talking about LSU. Alabama. I'll give away my pick in this one. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
All right, game of the week. A noon game for the game of the week. Number 8 against number 9 is being played at noon on the East Coast. They're playing in Lubbock,
West Texas.
It's got to be 2 hours behind, right?
At least 2. It could be 3.
I think it's 2.
I think it's 2.
3 is the West Coast. I think it's 2. You're talking about, for real, they are about to play at 10 o'clock in the morning?
TV's a mug.
I think that is a little advantage to the away team. 10 o'clock in the morning? They got to get up at 6 o'clock to start getting drunk.
They'll be ready. That's West Texas.
Dude, Texas Tech is really good. I know you said they can't win it all. I still got them in my right on the border of I want to believe that they can, but I'm just not sure if they can. But The run defense might be able to do it for them in the playoffs. Maybe not win it all, but it could definitely help them make a deep run. I've talked about it before. When the weather gets cold, things change. And they have the best run defense in the country. So I like what I'm seeing out of Texas Tech. Quarterbacks back. They're looking really good. They covered for me last week. Josh bet him again. Josh has been loving Texas Tech. He's probably pissed that he's missing the game of the week with his boys. Been riding Texas Tech all year. So BYU, look, do Mormons play football?
No, but I think they pay people off. I think they're the paying us off team in football, dude. I do. I think that they got all this money for basketball. I think they're just rich. I've seen some funny games against them over the last couple of years, games that don't even make sense, and I've seen too many of them. So they're good.
Are they?
I think they're pretty good. I don't think they're great. Texas Tech is on a different level. Look, I seen a thing on Texas Tech. Everybody knows they were spent almost as much money as anybody this year. And somebody said, this is what happens when a redneck hits the lottery, kind of Texas Tech, because they're a bunch of wild guys. And Texas Tech as a program has always kind of been a wildcat of a program in West Texas. They're just not your traditional team. They're kind of wild. And they went out and spent a lot of money. There's a lot of money in that area. West Texas football, high school football, anything, that's football country. I'm sure they're pretty excited about it.
BYU, just scrolling through their schedule. Bunch of weak wins at the beginning of the year. Beat Colorado by only 3, which it seems like everybody has beaten Colorado by like 50.
What happened to Colorado? They were playing decent for a minute, dude. They were playing decent for a minute.
But BYU won that game by 3, and then they beat a bad West Virginia team who West Virginia got a win. Who did West Virginia beat this week? They upset somebody.
That's cheating.
Houston was 7-1, and they beat them. But they beat Arizona and they beat Utah, which is decent. And then they just beat Iowa State, who I want to say is good, but they have kind of been up and down all year. So BYU, I love this Texas Tech team. That's all I could say. And I didn't know that Mormons played football. So
I don't know. That's always been a big football program out there. Steve Young, Ty Detmer, Probo. Like they got like a cool little tradition out there, BYU. I will say that. You ever seen one of them night games there? It's pretty cool. It's probably, probably one of the coolest atmospheres in college football. I don't feel like it gets talked about a ton, but people that know it's
Blitz the
cool.
Bookies talked about it for the last year. We've mentioned the home atmosphere at BYU plenty of times. It's a tough place to play, but guess what? This game's in
Lubbock, West Texas.
We'll come back here in just a bit with our picks for the college football. I know we gave one away, but we'll come back with our other picks. So real quick, before we get to the NFL, touchdowns and fumbles. I don't know if we've done this the last few weeks. I feel like we might have skipped it, but I'm going to go ahead and say my touchdown, I said it the last couple of weeks on this show. I didn't think Vandy was that good. They're not. They made it look close this week against who'd they play? Texas destroyed them. They were up 27 and going in 20-something going into the fourth quarter. And Vandy came back and made it look a lot closer than it was. Vandy's overrated, and Tennessee, they're overrated too. And I'm a dumbass because I bet on Tennessee, and Tennessee cost me. I picked 4 games on Saturday, Anthony. I won all 3. The last one I needed was Tennessee.
Been there, done
and
that.
There was so much stuff going on between TikTok Live, Breeders' Cup, UK game, World Series that I didn't even go hedge my bet, and Tennessee cost me. Vandy, overrated. Tennessee, overrated. Auburn's better than both of y'all.
For me, my fumble is I thought Cincinnati would play Utah tough. I really did. I was high on Cincinnati.
That hurt your feelings, didn't it?
It didn't hurt my feelings.
How much they lose by?
They lost pretty good, like 20, 30 points. But
they lost by 20?
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Shit.
They got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Utah is so Jekyll and Hyde to me. Utah has looked awesome at times. I mean, flat out looked awesome. And then sometimes they lay an egg. Utah is so hit and miss. They said they pressured that quarterback all night long. They got like almost a 50% pressure rate on him. Cincinnati still, I think, outgained them. as crazy as that is. But they just had 2 or 3 big turnovers. But I really thought Cincinnati would play them tough. I was wrong on that. But Cincinnati's still in the Big 12 race because that was their first loss in there. I think you'll see a different Cincinnati team next time.
I just went to look for Cincinnati and I typed in Conference USA.
Conference USA. They
I
don't play
forgot
Conference
they were-
USA no
I
more.
forgot they were in the Big
Marquette.
Big
They play
10,
Marquette's
Big
up there.
12.
My touchdown is, and I didn't bet it. I bet the other way. I bet me and Charlie bet the same team, Tennessee. All week, I said, not a good matchup for Tennessee. I thought it was the worst matchup for Tennessee. I really did. And the more I watch football, you try to figure out what's what. What works, what don't work. I'm telling you, dude, football is such a game of matchups. Like sometimes being good can override it, but it's about matchups, dude. And sometimes you face a team that's just a really good matchup for you, a really bad matchup for you. Oklahoma was a bad matchup for Tennessee. Tennessee's, everybody knows about their big passing game, their big plays, and they're legit, dude. I know Charlie don't like them, but their big plays are legit. They play Alabama tough. They got some of the best DBs in the country. They've had some good wins. They outplayed Georgia. They're good, in my opinion. They've been able to do those big plays. Well, you need time to have those big plays. They have a good young offensive line, but the problem is I don't even think Oklahoma's good at much. But what they're good at is pressuring the quarterback, and that's what won them the game. Tennessee outgained them, but Oklahoma had several. They had a touchdown for a fumble. They had 2 or 3 turnovers that led to easy points. The pressure that defensive line was able to put on that passing game and really mess with that passing game. And I do think Oklahoma probably has the best pass rush in football. And then why I also thought it was a bad matchup for Tennessee is Oklahoma's offense been having little problems. They looked like they were going to be good with Mateer for a minute, but they've been facing some speed bumps. Tennessee, don't have the best defense. They get after the quarterback okay, but Mateer is mobile. That really hampers what Tennessee likes to do. So bad matchup. I think I called that. I envisioned it right to a T, but I bet the other way. So I'm an idiot. But I really do feel like I predicted that game exactly how it was going to be.
And I said they were overrated even after they beat us, and then I went and bet on them. Dumbass too.
Yeah.
My fumble, I know this is probably going to go back to getting in Anthony's feelings here a little bit, but look, I was high on Auburn early in the year. I was high on them 2 weeks ago after they've taken the losses that they have. But they are a train wreck. Yes, they have a solid defense.
Maybe the best defense in the country.
And maybe they have a really good roster. They might be sitting on a great roster, but their season has been a disaster.
I agree.
I have never in my life, I'm 44, so I've been watching football for 38 years, whatever. I've never seen 3 quarterback change.
That's a coach knows he gets fired if he loses the game. That's what that is, Charlie. I agree with you, but that's what that is. Like all this pressure is on these coaches, and that coach knows if he loses that game, he's looking for offense, dude. His offense has been struggling, and they got some good offensive players, but their offensive. The game of football is one with the offensive line, and it's struggling.
Who started the game? Jackson Arnold.
No, the other boy.
The other boy started.
Yeah,
he played like shit.
Yeah.
He brings Jackson Arnold in. He plays like shit. He sits Jackson Arnold back down and brings the other boy back in.
He's looking for offense.
And then sits him back down. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And you're right. He knew.
He's coaching for his job.
He knew that if he did not win that game, he was fired. I wanted Auburn to be good. I wanted to believe in Jackson Arnold. I was wrong about Jackson Arnold. He is not good.
Maybe it's that offensive line, dude. That offensive line is pretty bad.
Their offensive line it's not bad. It's the worst offensive line I've ever seen in a major conference team.
Okay. I thought you were going to say ever. But
no.
I seen them do good against Baylor. I seen them do good. I'm with you, Charlie. I'm with you. I'm just saying
They had 10 or 11. They gave up 10 or 11 sacks like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Then the very next game, I want to say they gave up like 8 or 9 sacks. And we sacked them like 9 times.
Yeah, and I'm with you. But they should have beat some good teams. They put up points against some teams. I almost think we got to give our Cats some credit, dude.
Our defense ain't that good.
Maybe it's
good, but it ain't that good.
Auburn
is a mess. Look, like I said,
It
they
looked
might
pretty
have
good against
really good
Texas.
players. They might have really good players, and they might have a roster that should be 6-2 right now.
They should
But
have 2 more wins than they have. They were screwed out of those games.
blame it on whatever you
I
want.
agree.
Blame it on the coaching. Blame it on the roster. Blame it on the money. Blame it on the play calling. Blame it on the players. Blame it on the quarterback. I don't care what you blame it on, but Auburn is a disaster. They should be better than they are, but they're not. And I guess the best thing that could have happened is at least they fired their coach. So who knows what happens with the rest of their season. But, dude, I thought Auburn was good. I can't believe what's happened with their season. It's just crazy to watch. And I'm really surprised on how bad Jackson Arnold has been. And I know you guys are high on Mateer, but, dude, Mateer ain't much better than Jackson Arnold. That's my hot take. Mateer is about the same player as Jackson Arnold. I know y'all think he's good, but I disagree. But that was my fumble. Auburn and Jackson Arnold being a big-time disappointment.
Let me make a quick argument here. I'm just going to make a quick argument, okay? As many times as he got sacked against Oklahoma, I still think they're getting sacked against Oklahoma. They put up 17 points. Against Baylor, they put up 24. Against Georgia, we all know what happened there. Against Missouri, really good defense. They put up 17 points, lost in 2 overtimes. They put up 33 points against Arkansas, which they don't have much of a defense. But Kentucky held them their season low 3. Didn't even nobody else hold them to single digits.
So because they're a disaster.
But I'm just saying, you go to Kentucky, okay? Yeah, we had a rough defensive outing against Tennessee. There's no doubt. But then you go back up a game from that in Texas. We probably did a better job against Texas's offense than almost anybody.
Their offense ain't no good either,
I know, but they've been playing pretty decent here lately. So maybe our defense starting to play pretty good.
Our defense is fine, but the reason we held Auburn to 3 is because they couldn't figure out who their quarterback was. Their coach is a fucking idiot.
I agree, but
their offensive line can't block, and they've got all types of fucking problems.
Same offensive line that they faced some other teams with, though. But I'm with you.
Their offensive line has given up like 40 sacks in the last 3 weeks.
I'm just telling you the scores of the games.
I know the scores, and I know they've played a lot of good teams tight. But their offensive line, let's see, they probably lead the country in sacks.
They're bad.
And they probably historically
they're bad. They're bad, and they play some really good defenses. They're bad, and
couple that with a dumbass for a coach, and couple that with a quarterback that you thought was going to be good that's not. And then
is he bad, or is it a bad offensive line? I don't know.
And then probably it's both.
Yeah,
Jackson Arnold ain't been good at all.
Yeah, but when you get that much pressure, it's hard to be good.
And then couple it all with a bunch of college kids that probably think they probably think like you do. We've got this roster. We should be good.
My proof's in the games. Going back, looking at the games that they played. It ain't that I'm just going by roster. I know they got a good roster, but that don't guarantee you nothing.
What's that have to do with
anything? You just said that they think like you do, that because they got a good roster, they're going to be good. I don't think that. Just because you got a good roster, you're going to be good.
You didn't let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm talking about everything that's making them a bad team. And I'm saying couple it with a group of college kids who think they probably do have a good roster that should be better. And they're probably sitting there going, why aren't we better? And they're probably giving up. Half of them probably done gave up. Big time fumble, Auburn.
Yeah, they don't have much bad stuff. They got one of the best defenses in the country.
He won't stop.
They don't, dude. They got one of the best defenses in the country. They got great wide receivers. They got a bad offensive line.
All right.
That's whatever.
They're going to end up with 7 or 8
That's
losses.
Fine. And they had those 2 losses. You gotta look past the win-loss record.
I do, but not after the season's over, dude.
That's why they were a 10-point favorite over us.
Yeah, I can look past Notre Dame having 2 losses and say Notre Dame's still a good team. I can look past Auburn 2 weeks ago saying Auburn had 3 losses.
Do you remember that?
Now they got 5.
Do you remember the SEC coming out and say they screwed out Auburn pretty much out of 2 games? The SEC
I've watched
said that.
Auburn play almost every week.
Okay, well that happened against Georgia and Oklahoma.
I get that, and I've also watched them self-destruct this whole year. How can you deny that they haven't? They have self-destructed.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying they're great. But I think it's if you got those 2 wins,
we already know. You think every team in the SEC is good.
No, it ain't that. You got to look at it more than wins and losses.
I do.
I don't think you do.
Bullshit. I never just look at we've talked about this for years, dude. But they're compiling, Anthony. They're compiling. They've lost and lost and
I
lost.
got you.
And their offensive line's bad. And their coach is an idiot. They lose
You're
to
always
Kentucky.
an
They
idiot when
give
you
up
lose.
3 points. They scored 3 points. Dude, they're a disaster. Anthony loves them. I don't.
No,
anymore.
I
believed in them. I've talked about him pretty much every episode this year. That was my fumble. It wasn't Anthony's fumble. He still thinks they're good, and they've got like 6 losses.
I think you put them in another conference, they'd be good.
So what was your fumble? Since it wasn't Auburn.
I already told you my fumble. That Cincinnati and Utah.
Oh, yeah, that was a fumble.
Yeah. You got plenty of them.
Yeah, I got Auburn. Auburn, definitely a fumble. Would Auburn beat Cincinnati?
What's that?
Would Auburn beat Cincinnati?
I think they would.
Maybe with a new coach.
I think they would. I think their defense is too good for them. Auburn has a top 3 defense in the country. I don't think they're great. I just don't think they're as bad as what everybody else is acting like they are. I just think because we beat them, they're bad all of a sudden.
Fumble! All right, let's get to the NFL so Anthony doesn't his head blow off talking about Jackson Arnold. You want to defend Jackson Arnold too?
I don't. But I will say this, when you're that bad of an offensive line, and make a lot of people look bad, but I'm not saying here defending.
All right, on to the NFL. We went into last week kind of, and I know we talked about this on the show, that the slate last week was kind of weak. But, man, after reevaluating it and looking into, doing my research for my bets on Sunday, I came away before the game started. This was after I did my research. I came away really liking the slate. I was anxious to see Minnesota and JJ. Oh, big boy starting off right off the jump. That's him, right?
It gotta be
number
him.
13.
It's gotta be him.
Yeah, he just had.
You got a $7 million player. You feed him.
They just threw him a lob, first play of the game.
Who are they playing?
BYU guy. They're playing Villanova. But I know I talked to you about this. I didn't talk about this on the show, but after I did go through and kind of research the games, I was looking for a spot to fade some of the teams that have good records right now, but that I don't think are as good as their record says. So I was anxious to see like Indy and Pittsburgh. I know you guys aren't really as high on Pittsburgh as I am. I think Pittsburgh still can get a lot better this year, and they're sitting in a good spot right now. So I liked that game. As much as I hate Atlanta, I thought New England, after studying their schedule a little bit, I thought it was kind of weak. So I was really anxious to see what they were going to do in that game. They pulled it out, but Atlanta covered. Denver and Houston, I have hated Houston. You've kind of liked Houston the last few years. I have not. You've kind of liked Denver this year. I have not. I was on Houston. And I'm never on Houston. CJ Stroud gets hurt.
You're always against Denver.
This year I
you kind of like me with Baltimore.
This year I have been. Yeah. But I mean, I kind of liked the slate. Of course, you had Kansas City and Buffalo, which was an awesome game.
It was.
And when you really go back and look at it, only 2 favorites won and covered. And only 4 favorites won outright.
Now, I think Seattle did last night, didn't they?
That was before Seattle.
Okay,
yeah, that was before Seattle. Underdogs that won outright: Chicago, Minnesota, Carolina, Pittsburgh. Denver was actually an underdog. Buffalo was an underdog.
They were duo. They had 2 weeks in a row where favorites had dominated. Vegas had to get their money back. We kind of said it before the game. Remember talking about it? We said, it's time. It's due for underdogs. Of course, I didn't listen to my talking there. I went probably 50-50 on the games Sunday, but I should have listened to what I said.
Yeah, that was a lot of underdogs winning outright. I don't know if I can ever remember that many underdogs winning outright. How many? So let's count them. Chicago, Minnesota, Carolina. That's 3. Pittsburgh, Denver, and Buffalo.
Did that put
6?
Did that put a lot of
Still
people out of
a lot.
y'all's pick'em thing that you're in?
Green Bay put me out.
Did that put a lot of people out?
Like 100 and something. There was like 350 left. I think there's about 200 left now. So
I would have thought there might have been more than that.
I know. I did too. And I thought Green Bay would have been the most heavily picked, but it wasn't. It was only like 40 or 50 people had Green Bay, and I was one of them. I'm out. Pissed about that. I had my whole thing mapped out to winning a bunch of money.
They
There's a-
outplayed Carolina too. We went back and looked at that, and they outplayed them, but they got beat.
Yeah, they've got some stuff going on. Of course, I've made a couple TikTok videos here in the last couple weeks calling Green Bay overrated. I made my first one a couple weeks ago. That has aged beautifully. I just made another one today, and I'll tell you, they're getting a lot of comments, and a lot of these Green Bay fans, very surprisingly, calling Jordan Love overrated, and even more of them blaming it on the coaching.
Oh, that's how it always is, Charlie. That's
They
how it
all,
always.
yeah, but they got a good young coach, man. Now, I don't know how much
that's
I like
fans
that
for
guy,
ya.
but
That's fans.
they all blame the coaches
Mob mentality,
or
dude.
the coach. And I have heard way more Green Bay fans than I ever expected say that Jordan Love is overrated.
Dude, I heard fans saying Harbaugh at Baltimore should be fired when they were going through that rough patch. I mean, fans are crazy. I got to where I don't even want to listen to them no more. It's like the mob mentality. But that you say you've heard that their coach is really taking some heat right now from the fans?
On these posts that I've made, I've seen a lot of them just saying the coach is overrated. We need to get rid of the coach. And I couldn't believe how much I'm seeing that. Maybe that is an issue. They've got something going on because they're a young, talented team. They should not look. I do think Carolina is a decent team, but I don't think that Carolina should go into Green Bay and beat a Green Bay team that most people think we're a top 4 or 5 team in the NFL. So as good as Carolina might be, Green Bay needed to win that game.
Agreed.
What about JJ? JJ came out and played good his first game back.
I thought he played really good. I mean, considering Green Bay has a good defense, not Green Bay, Detroit has a good defense. That was a big win for them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't see it coming. I was happy for JJ. Of course, Brady was all over. I think he's like a mentor to JJ. He was calling the game. He was all over his nuts. But I hated that part of it. But I like JJ, so it's all good. JJ played good. He had that rough outing. Of course, everybody's writing him off because of one bad outing. I told my son, he said, Dad, JJ played like crap last game. He ain't going to be no good. And I kind of thought that myself a little bit coming into it. But I always tell my son, I say, dude, 1 or 2 games don't make you, dude. Give him some time. Let him do his thing. And, he found out real fast. You throw it up to Jefferson, you got a shot.
And then, of course, Buffalo and Kansas City played out like I knew what was going to happen. Buffalo's going to win in the regular season, and if they rematch in the playoffs, just go ahead and put your money on Kansas City. Just do it. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not telling you nothing you don't know because you already know that's how this will end. And I don't want it to end like that. I want Buffalo to beat Kansas City in the playoffs. I picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl before the season. I want Josh Allen to beat Kansas City in the playoffs, but we know how this will end.
I can't argue with you there. I'll say this. Buffalo, look, I'll take Andy Reid over any coach in the NFL. I think his teams are always prepared. Kansas City been riding high. At the end of the day, Buffalo came in that game more ready, and that don't happen to a Kansas City team much. And I'm not saying Kansas City wasn't ready because they were prepared, but I got to tip my hat to Buffalo. They looked very prepared. They executed very well. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They were ready for that ball game.
It was a good game. Mahomes didn't play good.
Yeah, he had and I'm not taking up for Mahomes, but Buffalo got a lot of pressure on him.
15 for 34.
Okay.
I think they said it was like the first game, maybe of his career. I don't know if I heard that right. If it wasn't the first game of his career, it was the first game in like a long time that he was under 50% completion percentage. 15 for 34, 250, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Looks like Kansas City had about 70 yards rushing.
Hey,
that ain't going to do it.
You know what the story of the game was? Story of the game was our boy Harrison from Kentucky. It was his first NFL game. The announcers couldn't quit raving about him. He pretty much shut Worthy down. Dude, if they get that out of Harrison, we got 2 starters on defense, Deion Walker and Harrison from Kentucky. If they get that out of Harrison, dude, Harrison, for those that don't know at Kentucky, he was a cornerback. He was a game changer. And I'm going to tell you what, he shut Worthy down last night, dude. And they were raving about him all night. I think at one point they said that's going to be something that the Bills make the Super Bowl run if they got a cornerback like that. That was his first NFL game. He got hurt like in the preseason or something.
Good for him.
No, it was awesome.
I'm going to tell you what Buffalo needs. They need a receiver. They need a big-time receiver. They need to trade for somebody. The trade deadline is coming up soon. They need some type of receiver. I don't know who it is, but Buffalo needs a big-time receiver. Maybe not a number one, but they need at least like a number two receiver. They need to find somebody before the trade deadline. I think that'll take them over the hump.
I'll tell you this. If they get that out of Harrison, that's the X factor. Worthy's been one of the hottest receivers in the NFL. And he's considered the fastest guy in the NFL right now. I think they ran a 4.1 at the combine. They had spotted out a couple times that Worthy did like a double move, and Harrison ran right with him. He showed out last night.
All right, before we get into these games real quick, I just do have to point out the Arizona Cardinals currently 24-10 over the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas sucks. Dak Prescott sucks. Don't bet on them. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, on to the games. First game, Baltimore at Minnesota. Kind of almost skipped over this game, but Lamar's back. You know Baltimore is going to be hell-bent on trying to get back into this division race that Pittsburgh is leading right now. And then Minnesota, JJ came back. They got a big win. So we got to talk about it. Baltimore at Minnesota. How you feel about this one?
Well, Lamar came back. I guess all of his offensive line came back. He was waiting for him to come back. That's what the story on the street was. He wasn't coming back to his offensive line, came back and found a good game to come back against Miami. I do think Baltimore's good. But I'm really going more by what I've seen in years past. But I still believe in them. I still think they're a good team. But I do think maybe there was something with the fake injury. Maybe he didn't like it when he got some pressure. I feel like he's had a good offensive line since he's been there. But in saying that, I still think he's good.
Yeah, he lit us up. Actually, he only had 200 yards, but he had 4 touchdowns.
Stat pattern. He made sure he got his touchdown passes.
You know, this is going to be a hard game to kind of handicap because you got a Minnesota team that I thought was kind of trending down a little bit. But who knows if JJ can end up being what people thought he was going to be. Maybe Minnesota will be all right this year. And then Baltimore, I mean, they've been a disaster. Their defense has been the worst in the league. Lamar hurt. Now he's back. They get a big win. Well, not a big win. They get a win. It should count as like half a win, but they got a win on Thursday night against the Dolphins. Little warm-up game for Lamar. What's the spread here before I make my pick?
I'll go ahead with my pick. I like Minnesota.
Baltimore's -4 on the road.
Look, I'm a big Lions guy, especially Lions at home. I thought that was very impressive. I didn't think they beat them with no sneaky stuff. I just think they flat out were more prepared and outplayed the Lions at Detroit, which is tough to do. Thought they really looked good doing it. I got to see more from Baltimore. Like I said, I'm going by from what I've seen in the years past. Come back against Miami. You're telling me he only had like 200 yards. It sounds about right because I do feel like the guy, like there's certain players that try to get their stats. I think he's one of them. And do I think he's really good? Yes. And I think Baltimore's been really good. But this year they ain't been that hot. But I'm going to go with Minnesota because I was impressed with them last week. And I am a JJ fan. So
give me Minnesota. JJ goes into Detroit and gets a big win against one of the best teams in the NFL. Now he's coming home to face one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Yeah, they got Lamar back, but they still got issues. They even got some pieces back on defense, but I'm not a believer. This is not the Baltimore team that we are accustomed to knowing, running the ball down your throat, playing hard-nosed defense. That's not what the Ravens do this year, and I'm going with Minnesota.
Think you faked injury?
Nah, I doubt it.
Okay. I don't know. I know I've heard it a lot.
All right, next game, Patriots at Tampa Bay. This is going to be a really good game. Tampa coming off of a bye, which they probably needed because they were pretty beat up. New England going to Tampa after a home scare against the Falcons. I think New England, I think their record is a bit misleading. I don't think they're as good as what their record shows right now. What do you think about this game,
I kind of
Anthony?
agree with that. I do think they're good, though. I kind of probably feel kind of the same way you do. I like Drake May. I do think they're on the improve. So a lot of things to be happy about if you're a New England fan. New England's got a really good run stopping defense. I know Tampa likes to run the ball, but they can also air the ball out. And New England has issues against the pass. I'd love to see New England win the game. I'm a Drake May fan, but Tampa getting the bye with that passing game. I'm going to go Tampa, but I don't like them as much as what I thought I was going to like them. Maybe that New England pass defense is getting a little better because I do think they have a little potential up there. You know what? I'm going to go New England. I'm going to go New England.
Changing it
Yeah,
up.
and I really thought I liked Tampa a lot. So that's a big change.
I love I love Tampa in this spot.
Yeah,
love
I
them.
did too.
Coming off of a bye. Let me read you the teams that the Patriots have beat this year. The Raiders, the Dolphins, the Panthers. They did beat the Bills, the Saints, the Titans, and the Browns, and the Falcons.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's bad.
The Bills win was a good one.
Yeah, they got the Bills, but other
that's
than
pretty
that,
impressive.
they lost to the Steelers.
Who else did they play?
Raiders, Dolphins.
Who else they lose to? I'm sorry.
They lost to the Steelers and who am I missing? Their loss. Oh shit! I'm tripping. They lost to the Raiders first game of the year.
Okay,
They didn't even beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
They lost to the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they're a different team than what they were beginning of the year.
Well, they started 1-2 because
Yeah.
they lost to the Raiders, then they beat the Dolphins, then they lost to the Steelers. So they started 1-2.
Yeah,
But then they ran off some wins,
the Bills win really,
and they did get the Bills. But dude,
Wasn't that
Panthers, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons.
I don't have no problem with the Panthers. When the Bills was at the Bills, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a good win. I don't know what I think about them. I'm with you a little bit on
No,
that.
they're a good team, and they have got a really bright future with a great head coach and a great quarterback, and those are the two main pieces that you need. They've got both of them, and they got great ownership and a great organization. The future looks bright for New England, and they might even make the playoffs this year. They might slip in and make the playoffs, but I don't think they're as good as what that record shows right now. Maybe I'm wrong here in 4 or 5 weeks, but I love Tampa Bay right here. They're coming off of a bye. They are high octane offense. Baker's the man. I'm rolling with Tampa. It looks like the spread's 3. I'll probably bet that too.
Hey,
I like Tampa a lot.
On a side note, Drake May's cards are on fire. I have a blue wave of his. I got lucky and got it. It was about a $900 card before this. It's like up to like $1,200, dude.
Pikachu will never tear an ACL, right?
Okay.
Drake May might tear ACL. Pikachu will not tear ACL.
Can he
You
get
might
killed?
want to start buying Pokemon cards.
Can he
Anthony.
get killed?
Jaden Daniels, they're already talking, the cards value's going down.
I went to Daniels guy. If you know me, I did not invest in Jaden Daniels.
Buy a Pikachu.
I did not. The quarterbacks I invested in were Caleb Williams and Drake May. That's the two that I really invested in. I did not invest in Penix or Daniels. I did invest a little money in Bo Nix.
Charizard cannot dislocate his elbow.
He can get his ass beat by Mewtwo.
All right, Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco is another team that is not as good as their record, but I'll tell you what San Francisco is. They're just like New England. They are a great organization that's got good ownership. They've got a good GM. They've got a great coach. I love San Francisco. I think he's actually doing a great job this year with a depleted roster. But I told you at the beginning of the year, their schedule was terrible, San Francisco. The Rams are on fire, dude. The Rams,
they're good.
I don't want to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they look really good. It's the same thing as I've always said with the Rams, to just keep Stafford healthy. It's been great. Now we're up 9 weeks in. Everything's been great, but we got 9 or 10 more weeks to go, and I'm still worried about
I think Puka's hurt. I think he got hurt. I don't think it's nothing crazy, but he might be out this game.
What, he got hurt?
During the, I think, New Orleans game.
Did he?
Yeah, I think.
Well, he had just come back.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing old news. I'd read it somewhere.
Puka had just come back. He missed a week or so.
Yeah.
And then didn't he play yesterday?
Yeah, I think he did. I thought I read he got hurt. So maybe I'm wrong when I say that. But, y'all
might have got hurt. He might have got hurt yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that, but he could have.
I'm glad
he only had one catch. No, that was one rush.
If he only had
he
one.
had 7 catches for 95 and a touchdown.
Yeah, they target him a lot. I'm glad you know what the 49ers are, because I have no clue what they are. When I see them, I just move on now. Dude. I'm finally at that point with them. I'm finally at their point.
Well-coached team.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with that. You got that way with the Cowboys, and I finally got that way with the 49ers. Like this game this week, I remember you telling me and Charlie talked before the games, just see who each other like. And he said something about like the Giants and 49ers. In my head, I'm thinking, nope, I'm not. I don't know. I just don't know what the 49ers are. So
you're going with the Rams, right?
yeah, just more
Yeah,
consistent.
I got the Rams too.
Oh, Rams need that for a revenge game. Remember the Niners got them when the Rams come into that game as kind of the favorite of few. They just played like not too long ago.
It's in San Francisco, but I like the Rams in that one.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Pittsburgh's coming off of a big win against Indy. Looked really good. Like I said, I think Pittsburgh still can get a lot better this year. I don't even think they've come close to reaching their peak. And who was it that I said needed a receiver? The Bills. Pittsburgh needs a running back.
Need a defense.
They need a running back. I don't know who they need, but they need who's their top running back? The Warren kid?
Warren, yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh needs a running back. The Chargers.
Their running back room's banged up. They're starting to
it's
get
real
healthy.
banged
Yeah.
up.
The rookie out of North Carolina and
He's
Najee
out.
Harris are out. Yep.
The Chargers, man, I still can't rely on them. If they're another one that I can't get on the right side of. So I won't bet this game because if I bet on the Chargers, they'll lose. And if I bet against them, they'll
What is
win.
spread in that game?
I got to stay away from that one.
I like, so for me, of course, they beat a team. I like the Colts a lot. Daniel Jones accounted for 6 turnovers. I don't know how you account for 6 turnovers. And Pittsburgh still was only able to score like 20-something on them. I like Aaron Rodgers. I sound like I don't when I knock Pittsburgh every week. I just don't think Pittsburgh's that good, but proof's in the pudding. They got a good record. So until otherwise, I can't really say nothing. But I think the Chargers will get them. I like the Chargers in that game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers here too. I'd like to take Pittsburgh in this one, but they just coming off of a big win. Now they got to travel out to the Chargers. Herbert's playing really good. I think they're trying to figure stuff out with a bit of a depleted roster as well. This is just a feel spot for me. I just think the Pittsburgh's coming off a big win, traveling across the country. Give me the Chargers. All right, last game, and I think is this Monday night, I think. Philly at Green Bay. Yeah, Monday night. Little luster lost for me because I think Green Bay's overrated, and that loss, it was a big elimination pool. So I'm sour about that. Did Philly play last week? They coming off of a bye? Yeah.
And remember, I think Green Bay's without Kraft. That's their number one target, their tight end.
Oh, he's out for the year.
Yeah. That's a big loss for Green Bay. That's a big loss. I feel bad for them because I don't think they're as overrated as you do. I think they're like a top 5 or 6-ish team, but Kraft was their main target. I really, really hate that for them. That hurts their offense a lot.
And they already had some of their, well, I don't know if this last game, but their receiving core has been banged up this year too. So yeah, and that was a huge loss for them. I'm going Philly. Coming off of a bye, I think Philly is another team kind of like the Chargers that are trying to get right now. They've been up and down, very inconsistent. We all know the issues they've had with the offense and the inconsistencies in games. They've done it like 4 times this year, but I'm super low on Green Bay right now. I don't think they're a top 5 team. I do think Philly is right on the edge of being a top 5 team. And with an extra week, give me Philly in this game.
I still think Philly's really good. I want to pick against them. I do think Green Bay has a good run defense, which should help them. Everybody's trying to kind of do what Denver did. Of course, you got to have good corners to do that, though. And that's where you stack the box. You get really aggressive in the box and force Jalen Hurts to beat you deep because there's going to be opportunities when you got single coverage everywhere. And the theory is some games, I mean, he's going to get some of them, but he won't land as many. And if we can get pressure on him and shut down his running lanes, that he can't hit enough of those over the tops. But I still like Philly in that game. As much as I don't like Jalen Hurts, I don't mind Philly. They're still a really good team. I think they're a loaded team. So I like Philly.
We all picked, well, no, you changed your Tampa Bay pick.
I did. And look, I'll be honest with you. That's a little bit of a long shot. I think New England might be hot right now, dude.
All right. Let's get back to these college games and make some picks. Just real quick, dude, I have not been paying attention here, but I've seen a lot of high flying by this dude already. He's already dunked 2 or 3 times. He's playing above the rim. Dude's big as shit. Maybe he is where give him 20 million.
I like it. I like it, Charlie. I like it.
I don't know.
Look,
I mean,
if he's good enough, I'll say this. I've made the statement that you ain't nobody worth that much. But like supposedly Michigan paid like $12 million for Bryce Underwood. He's not worth that as a freshman. But in basketball, you can dominate as a freshman. If he's an Anthony Davis, if he's a whoever, a Cooper Flag, with the money these schools are bringing in, he's worth it, right? I mean,
he looks pretty dominant out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it, but man, he's flying all over.
He
the
looks
place.
long as hell.
He does. He looks big. He looks athletic. He doesn't look slow or anything. Kid might be the truth.
Looks like Nerlens Noel.
Kid might be the
Does
truth.
he like Nerlens Noel to you?
Looking at him right here, he kind of reminds me of like a Bam Adebayo or something.
Okay. He reminds
Just like his build.
You remember The Air Up There? The movie The Air Up There?
Hell yeah.
Remember the bad guy?
Yeah.
That was him. That reminds me of him a little bit. Give him the Jimmy Dolan shake and bake. I love that movie.
All right. Let's make these 4 picks real quick.
Let's do it.
I'm going to go out of order because I think we already gave this one away. So real quick, LSU at Alabama. 1, 2, 3.
Roll Tide.
Alabama. That one was easy. All right. Texas A&M at Missouri. Anthony.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm on A&M too. I don't have a lot of faith right now in Missouri, but if they can win this game, because I do think A&M is a top 3 or 4 team in the country, if Missouri can somehow win this game, maybe I'll start believing in them. But until then, give me Texas A&M, and I might just keep riding them. They're -7. That's a lot on the road, but
I feel like if they come in there focused, they can get anybody but 7, dude.
I've done good with A&M. I might keep riding that train.
Everybody wants to talk Ohio State, Indiana. I don't think people are giving A&M their flowers. I'm not crazy about their quarterback, but he is mobile, and they got some good receivers. They're a pretty complete team.
Yeah, they are. And I do feel like for being ranked 3rd in the country, they are not talked about a lot on the national scale.
I bet you Stoops wish he had that job right now.
You know that. All right, Oregon at Iowa.
Oregon at Iowa. Listen, I will take Oregon because I think Oregon's good. I think they're one of the best in the country still. But I'm scared of Iowa. And if they beat them, it would not surprise me. It might surprise a lot, but it would not surprise me. I'll go Oregon.
I'm taking Oregon too. Said I haven't watched Iowa play, but I do trust Anthony when it comes to college football. He believes in Iowa. It does scare me a little bit, and it definitely scares me that Oregon has not played anybody. I'm going to take Oregon. I'm usually not scared of Iowa football. It's very boring sounding to me. But, man,
the Indiana
Oregon
game
has not been tested, and I need to see more. So I won't be betting on this game. I do think they could still win it all. I mean, Dan Lanning, you never know. It'll be a close game, or maybe they come in and roll Iowa.
I'll say this, and I get what you're saying, and I think it's a fair argument. I do think it's fair. But I'm going to say they have been tested.
Oregon?
Yeah, I do. I think the Penn State, they were tested. That was at Happy Valley. That was with Drew Aller. That's before everything fell apart. They were not what everybody thought they were. There's no doubt. But I do think they were still a good team at that point with Drew Aller. And then Aller got hurt, and everything just got messy and ugly.
Is Drew Aller better than Jackson Arnold?
What's that?
Is Drew Aller better than Jackson Arnold? Exactly. We're not sure.
I don't know. I don't know what Jackson Arnold is. I think I know what Drew Aller is. I know I didn't get to watch the game, but I was reading people talk about this Penn State backup quarterback, and they just say he's just not that good. He's not accurate. They said he missed several throws that were there. But, yeah, I'm with you. They haven't been tested much, and this is a big test for them. But I will go with I'll go Oregon.
All right, game of the week. Crazy that the game of the week is at noon. BYU at Texas Tech. The Mormons against the Red Raiders. Are they the BYU Mormons?
No, the BYU Cougars.
BYU Cougars.
It's Steve Young versus Pat Mahomes.
You know I love Texas Tech. Usually I let the food sway my decision. Today, look, we got snacks, but I'm going Texas Tech. I've been riding Texas Tech all year. I'm with Josh. I've been on them. I like what I'm seeing out of them. The quarterback's back. He's playing good. The defense looks strong. I'm not a believer in BYU, and this is at Texas Tech, home game. Even though they're playing at 10 a.m., I do think that helps the away team a little bit, just because maybe the crowd won't be as into it at 10 o'clock in the morning, or who knows, maybe they'll be hammered at 10 o'clock
West Texas.
and rowdy as hell. So either way, I'm going Texas Tech. Anthony, I got some snacks.
So for me, BYU, the only way I'm scared of them is if they pay somebody off. I told y'all know I think the cheat goes on. I've seen some weird games from opponents from them over the years. They got all this money they're paying out in the NIL. Same thing with Utah and Cincinnati. They're similar to BYU out there. Did they pay Cincinnati off? Are they going to pay Texas Tech? I don't know. Texas Tech, I don't think you can pay them off. They got a lot of money already. So when I think of Texas Tech, Charlie, I think about the movie when we were younger, Varsity Blues. You remember that movie,
So
Charlie?
I looked that up. It's not in West Texas.
It was a fictional town, but it was based out of West Texas.
I looked it up earlier. The town that it was in,
West Canaan,
in,
but it was a fictional town.
but that was a fictional town. It wasn't actually.
It was filmed
that.
in Central Texas, but
Elgin, Texas.
But I think they mentioned West Texas in the movie, like is West Texas football, or maybe it was.
If
West
you look
Canaan.
at it on the map, though, it's in Elgin, Texas.
Okay,
it's pretty much like right in the center of the state.
Yeah, that's where they filmed it at. I looked it up too. That's where they.
I think
filmed
Lubbock is West Texas.
Yeah, Texas Tech.
That place Elgin was like 6 hours from Texas, and looked like it was more kind of sitting in the center. Of
No,
the
they
state.
say it's where they said they filmed it in like several cities.
Holy shit! Did you just see
God,
that?
Dikembe Mutombo, that's who it is.
That wasn't even that dude. That was somebody. That was another guy. He just threw it into like the 5th row of the stands.
That's what happens when you spend money, son. Y'all want to see what you do with NIL when you spend money? Turn BYU on right now. You'll see what happens when you spend money. Why I turn my cats on? Because we got a $23 million roster.
Dude, they got that dude's good too.
He should be they should.
No,
be.
that's not him. That's another guy.
Well, their roster is as expensive as ours.
Plus the white boy they got with the headband, he's good too.
I don't know how you can't be good if you spend that much money. You'd have to be horrible at a value. You could be horrible and still have a great thing. But anyhow, so for me, got to go with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Red Raiders. Well, in appreciation for the late Mike Leach, which coached at Texas Tech.
Mike Leach.
We're going to go rob a bank, and we're going to wear the Mike Leach bandana.
Oh, I thought Halloween was over, and he's dressing. I knew him. I knew it.
Let's ride, baby.
Oh,
Let's
shit,
ride.
he's
Let's
got
go.
the heat.
You ready to ride? Let's go. Let's go. You ready to ride?
Texas, beef brisket, baby. Get you some beef brisket.
We ain't going to go rob this. We ain't going to go raid.
And listen to this. Anthony's ready to fucking rob a bank, son. Utah, the most Jell-O eaten per capita is in Utah. When's the last time you had Jell-O?
Been a while.
Dude, I don't think I've had Jell-O.
Since your kids were little?
No.
Well, you still got a little one.
No, since I was little.
Your kids that didn't eat Jell-O?
I don't know if my kids have ever had Jell-O. I think the last time I had Jell-O, I was probably 10 years old. I want to say I liked Jell-O back in the day.
I like Jell-O shots.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess I have had Jell-O if I had Jell-O shots. But I want to say I used to like Jell-O, but I do not think I'm going to like Jell-O anymore. But get you a bite of beef brisket for one. And which one of these Jell-Os you want, Anthony?
Oh, it don't matter to me.
Red or orange?
I'll take the orange, but
take this orange one.
All right.
And try that Jell-O. I'm trying the Jell-O first.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you eat
the
Jell-O before you eat the brisket.
Just to be fair, I'm scared right now because I do not think I'm going to like this Jell-O.
That's good. Jell-O's pretty basic. That's why I like it. You know, the Jell-O is so popular out there because of the Mormons. That's like their favorite food.
Dude,
Jell-O. It's very simple. They like simplicity. The Mormons do. It's a family fun food,
bro.
I'm telling you,
I'm a Jell-O guy.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, if that beef brisket ain't good, I might pick BYU.
Son, meat's all.
Dude, I did not think I was gonna like that Jell-O. That Jell-O is pretty good.
Jell-O's always good.
We're chomping in y'all's ear again.
That's right.
That's what we do here at Blitz the Bookie.
We're gonna go rob a bank, so This might be our last good meal if we get caught.
Shit. Oh, shit, Anthony.
Is it good?
This is from Texas.
Texas theater.
I'm going to be honest. The Jell-O is not from Utah. But this brisket is straight from Texas. Got it shipped in. Even though I'm not going to lie, the Jell-O was really good. I'm still rolling Texas Tech. They said pecan pie in Texas, too. I almost got that again because we had pecan pie earlier in the year. And I freaking love pecan pie. I'm getting some pecan pie for Thanksgiving.
Man,
I'm learning all kinds of stuff on Blitz the Bookie. Did not know I like pecan pie.
Texas
Did
Tech.
not think I like Jell-O.
Texas Tech.
Still hate moon pies.
They got Bobby Knight. They got Pat Mahomes, Mike Leach, Cliff Kingsbury.
Bobby Knight.
Mm-hmm. He coached there.
I know he did.
Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Another episode ending with us chomping in your ear.
I bet
Josh, we missed you.
He needs the Jell-O. He don't need the brisket. I can tell you that.
Josh probably needs some Jell-O right now. He's sick. You need Jell-O when you're sick, right?
That's when you eat it.
Now I'll save you a piece of this brisket if you want it too. And I know you got Texas Tech. We ain't even got to worry about that. Maybe we'll try to get on a little video call at some point this week with Josh, see if we can get his picks. But I know he's got Texas Tech. Guys, thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. As always, share us with a friend. Tell somebody about us. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Continue supporting Blitz the Bookie. Check us out on TikTok, YouTube, all the social media platforms. That's all I got. Anthony.
Guys, appreciate you listening as always. Hit that follow button. You hit the follow button. That way you can see our stuff every time. When you hit that follow button, for anybody that don't know, it pops up our stuff every time when we put it out. So you want to stay connected to us, hit that follow button. And we appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. Thanks.
We'll catch y'all next week. Blitz the Bookie.
See ya.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Scassy's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.